السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد، يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبد الله ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أيها المسلمون، اعلموا أن الجنة حق وأن النار حق وأن الله يبعث من في القبور. أما بعد، يقول الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. My dear brother and sister, I began by saying all praises, all gratitude and all thanks belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we seek refuge in Allah from the sin that we commit and the faults within ourselves. Whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide, no one could misguide. And whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala leave astray, no one could guide. We bear witness there is no deity worthy to worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we bear witness indeed Prophet Muhammad alayhi afdal wa azka salam is final in his last messenger. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless Prophet Muhammad and his family and his companion and whoever follow him until the judgment day. Allahumma ameen. I shared with you one verse from Surah Al Imran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he addressed us by saying, "O you believe, fear Allah as we should be feared, and die not unless you are in the state of Islam." My dear brother and sister, today khutbah, inshallah, it will be about the father of all prophets, Abul Anbiya, the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail, what they left behind for us. Brother and sister, the more I read and prepare for khutbah about Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail, I discover they are extremely, extremely important. Some of us, we take their names very lightly and we do not read more about it. But I encourage each one of you to read quite a bit about Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail. We repeat Prophet Ibrahim's name at least 20 times a day when you are praying. If you're praying 5 times a day only, you are repeating his name 20 times. And also Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, his name is mentioned in the Holy Quran at least 69 times. Prophet Ismail at least 12 times. Brother and sister, Prophet Ibrahim, he was born in Iraq. And the time when he was born, the people, they used to worship idols, sun, moon, stars, and so on. They make the idol themselves and they worship it. When you think about it, it's very hard to believe that the person create his own God. Very, very difficult to understand. Prophet Ibrahim, on a young age, he was wondering the same thing we are wondering today. How could they do such a thing? And of course, he did not agree with it. And constantly, he think about Allah and why we are here. Brother and sister, during his prophethood, he traveled through Iraq, Syria, Egypt, and Mecca, and much, much more, to spread the word of La ilaha illallah. And he approached his father, and he had a dialogue with him, trying to straighten his father out and guide him to the right path. And I would like to share this dialogue with you. بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذ قال لأبيه يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا. When Ibrahim, he said to his father, my dear father, why do you worship something that neither hear you or nor see you and help you in any way or shape? And he continued responding, يا أبت إني قد جاءني من العلم ما لم يأتك فاتبعني أهدك صراطا سويا. My dear father, he's talking to his father with a great respect when he says, يا أبتي, my dear father, indeed, there has come to me a knowledge that has not come to you. So follow me, and I shall lead you to the right path. So of course his father disagreed. And in fact, he threatened him to stone him, which is the most brutal way a person could lose his life. They tie him up to a tree, and they get rocks and they stone them until the person died. It's awful, awful way. Despite that, did Ibrahim show disrespect to his father? No. What did he say? He said, قال سلام عليك سلام عليك سأستغفر لك ربي إنه كان بي حفيا. Despite that big threat, Ibrahim said, peace be on you. I will seek forgiveness for you from my Lord. And look at how beautiful that is. Despite that, he praying for his father. So the community was upset over Ibrahim and the way he's thinking, because this is a lot of them, they do this for living. And among them, of course, Azar, which is Ibrahim's father. So they decided to tie him up and threw him in a fire, huge fire. While he's traveling in the air going to the fire, Prophet Ibrahim said, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. And what does that mean? Allah is enough for me. I do not need anyone except Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He ordered the fire to be cool and calm and peace on Ibrahim alayhi salam. بقوله تعالى في سورة الأنبياء قلنا يا نار كوني بردا وسلاما على إبراهيم. Or we said, O fire, be cold and safe to Ibrahim. Beside that, brother and sister, Prophet Ibrahim, he gone through a lot of hurdles, and I'm going to share them with you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He decided to take Prophet Ibrahim as a Khalila. Khalila means a friend. When you hear that, some of us, we understand the magnitude and the weight of that word, the Khalila. Some of us, it just passes by you and you really don't pay attention to the meaning, the true meaning of the word Khalila. I would like to magnify that word and let you understand the weight of that word. I want you to pretend with me. If you have a friend of yours, he approached you and he said, hey, Muhammad or Ali, you know the President of the United States? You said, yes. He's a very good friend of mine. You're going to say, whoa. This person, he's saying he's a good friend of the President of the United States? That means something very special about him. I wonder what it is for him to say that. Maybe he's lying. Let's put that aside. How about if the President of the United States comes in and he say, this person, he is a very good friend of mine, and he say it on a national television. You're going to say, whoa, really, he must be something special for him to be a friend of the President of the United States. And you're going to really pay attention to him because, wow, if I need something, I will go ask him because he's a very good friend of the President. Brother and sister, put that all aside. Allah, Al-Wahid Al-Ahad, Al-Qawi Al-Jabbar, he stated not just verbally one time, he stated in the Holy Quran that he have taken Prophet Ibrahim as a friend. Look at how powerful. Now you understand the weight of that word. Well, let me share that with you from Surah An-Nisa. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ دِينًا مِمَّنْ أَسْلَمَ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ وَاتَّبَعَ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. Allah, he has taken Prophet Ibrahim as a friend. Wow. How blessed and lucky he is. Brother and sister, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have taken him as a friend? He went through a lot, and I'm going to share some of those with you. Number one, he was very patient and very pious. He was very dedicated and devoted to spread the word of La ilaha illallah, despite what he has gone through and all the threats. Also, I would like to share something with you. Of course, I'm sure most of you know that he married Sarah. And they stayed together for quite some time, unable to have a child. And then right after that, he married Egyptian lady Hajar. And after a while, they got a child. His name is Ismail. Brother and sister, so Prophet Ibrahim, he took Hajar and Ismail, and they went to the desert, and he told her, stay there, and we will be back. She doesn't understand why they want to leave him in there. And she asked him again and again, and then finally she told him, is this an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said, yes. Immediately, the tranquility and peace in her heart. She runs out of water. She runs out of food. And then she starts looking for water for her only child, Ismail. She go back and forth between Safa and Marwa until the water came out with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's order. I'd like to move faster because, of course, this the story of Prophet Ibrahim is quite long. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, later he ordered Prophet Ibrahim to build the first place in Mecca for us to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is from Surah Al Imran. I would like to share that with you. بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن أول بيت وضع للناس إن أول بيت وضع للناس ببكة مباركة وهدى للعالمين. Indeed, the first house of worship established for mankind was in Becca. Brother and sister, years ago you used to call Becca. Becca means Mecca, and what we call it today. And then فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم ومن دخله كان آمنا ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا ومن كفر فإن الله غني عن العالمين. Brother and sister, there's there clear signs about Prophet Ibrahim. And then whoever attend and go there will have peace and tranquility in their hearts. And here, brother and sister, I'm so proud of every one of you here. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he built the first place to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Mecca, and you followed his footsteps, and you built the first place to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Beaumont. You have followed his footsteps. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every person that participated in to build this masjid here for people to come right after us. Brother and sister, after the Kaaba was built, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he ordered Prophet Ibrahim to call upon people to come and perform Hajj. Prophet Ibrahim responded, Ya Allah, I'm here in the desert. There is no one around me. And how could I call? Of course, at that time was no loudspeaker like I have today, no internet, none of that stuff exists. Ya Allah, how are they going to hear me? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded, you do the call, and we will make sure that everyone on earth will hear it, and they will come for every direction. Even the infant in the mother's womb will hear the adhan. Subhanallah. Subhanallah, how powerful that is, the statement from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that everyone, and sure enough, Sadaqallahu al-Ali al-Azim. Look at today, brother and sister, 3 and 4 million people coming from every direction on earth, going to perform Hajj. Let me share that with you from Surah Al-Hajj. بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ بوأنا لإبراهيم مكان البيت أن لا تشرك بي شيئا وطهر بيتي للطائفين والقائمين والركع السجود. And remember when we pointed out for Ibrahim the place of the house of Allah, saying, do not associate anything with me as my partner, and purify my house for those who make tawaf, and those who perform qiyam, and those who perform ruku' and sujood. And the following verse, brother and sister, وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. And announce among the people about Hajj, so that they should come to you on foot. A lot of us, when we hear the word rijalan, some of us may misunderstand means men is coming in. No. Rijalan means people coming on foot. And also they will come on camels and donkeys and every other animals. The following verse, brother and sister, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ ويذكر اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير. So they witness, benefit from them, and recite Allah His name in a specific day over their provision that He have given them from the cattle. So eat from it and feed the distress. Brother and sister, so now the people, they go also around the Kaaba and they say the following: لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك. A lot of us, we repeat that around the Kaaba, and I ask a few people, what is the word, the meaning, لبيك اللهم لبيك? A lot of people, they have no clue what the true meaning of the word لبيك اللهم لبيك. So I would like to, if you know it, great, share it with others, because you will be surprised. A lot of people, they have no idea. So what does that mean? Brother and sister, it means that we are responding to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also we are obedient to the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, we came here, Ya Allah, responding to Prophet Ibrahim's call, that order by you. And also Tawheed, la sharika lak. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, la sharika lak. Here, Tawheed. Tawheed, brother and sister, the oneness of Allah. This is how you have it chosen, Tawheed Community Center, which is a beautiful, beautiful name that you have it chosen for your center here, Tawheed. So here when we say Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, this is alamat at-Tawheed, brother and sister. Also, we say Allahu Akbar constantly. Do we understand the weight and the magnitude of the word Allahu Akbar? Let me share that with you. Allahu Akbar, brother and sister, it means Allah is greater than anything that you can visualize or imagine. And also more powerful and more majestic and more magnificent than anything that you can imagine or visualize. This is what means Allahu Akbar. Also, I would like to bring to your attention when I was researching, and then you notice that the people, when they go around the Tawaf and the Kaaba, their right shoulder is exposed. Have you ever questioned anyone or questioned yourself why the right shoulder is exposed during the Hajj? Let me share that with you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had a covenant with Quraysh after he left Medina. And they agreed that one year the Muslim, they will go from Medina to perform Hajj, and then also the Kuffar and the Ahl Quraysh, they go also their own way around the Kaaba there. And then the year that the Muslim, they're supposed to go there, the leader of Quraysh, he have a rumor around his people that the Muslim is coming this year. And guess what? They are sick, they are weak, they have skin disease, and don't worry, they are coming, but don't be scared. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he have heard this rumor, and he decided to diffuse that rumor. And he told his people, you expose that shoulder, this way you could show your strength, you show your muscle, and we have no disease. This is, brother and sister, this is the reason why, in case you are wondering, and then you can go ahead and share it with others. So let us go back to Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Why he was chosen, brother and sister, to be Khalilullah. He went through a huge hurdle and test. Very, very difficult test. Brother and sister, he had a dream, ru'ya. And ru'ya is like a divine revelation that he is sacrificing his only son. And is not 1 out of 9 children that he had, his only son. And then he have a dream that he's sacrificing his son. So he did, and then he have told his son that. And then his son, he told him that do what you have been ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will find me among the patient. This is a huge thing. And then the most difficult, that he have to do it himself, is not delegating to someone else to do it on his behalf. And then, brother and sister, let me share that with you in here في سورة الصفات بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فلما بلغ معه السعي قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى قال يا أبت افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين. Do what you've been ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and indeed you will find me among the patient. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ, when both of them surrendered and submit themselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he told them, hey, ya Ibrahim, hold on, stop. And then this is when we sacrifice an animal, it appears to them, and he was slaughtered, that animal, instead of his own son. And this is, brother and sister, this is what we have, most of us have done in Eid. This story, brother and sister, Prophet Ibrahim is he almost sacrificed his own